It's warm outside and Father's Day is fast approaching. Hopefully you've let your wife or your kids know what you want shaving wise as we approach, in my opinion, the most important holiday of the year, Father's Day. Like I mentioned before that though, it's very hot here in western Wisconsin, but still getting outdoors a lot and also getting a lot of shaves in. This is my second shave in the new house. And still kind of just getting used to things. I've got my setup, I think, okay. I've also got a new phone, so anxious to see how that comes out. I've always got the two camera setup. I used to have a Google Pixel phone. Now I have a Samsung A42, I think is what it's called. So we'll see how it does video-wise. Some cool stuff today to show. I guess first and foremost, I'll showcase the soap that I'm using. This is Wholly Kaw, and then this is Denarius. And this is the tallow base form. And now I got a sample for Maggard's razors. I guess before I go any further, you can kind of hear my daughter crying in the background. Some exciting news. That's our youngest, so it's our second daughter. Almost Father's Day, and I'm pretty sure she just said "dada" earlier today. You tell me what you think. So yeah, that sounded like a dada to me, I guess. You just gotta use your imagination a little. But yeah, so with this scent, Denarius, it's based on, I'm gonna say this wrong, Mos de Saxa. Mos de Saxa. It's basically, that's French, and it's, from what I could gather research-wise, it was like a base of like a perfume or a cologne that was used back in the 1800s and then kind of disappeared maybe around the turn of the century. The scent is very musky. It's got a lot of musk. I'm not a huge musk fan, but you can smell the musk. Also, it says oak moss, and I do smell the moss. I definitely smell that. Kind of sweet, almost like raisins. Reminds me a lot of Barrister and Man. What's it called? The one I did a video on a while back. Something about True Test of Man or True Something of Man. Anyways, a little bit of a tobacco as well, but kind of sweet, but very masculine. Definitely get the masculine. And you can also see it's super dark. They recommend that you use a synthetic brush because it could stain a normal, natural hair brush. And so I've got this synthetic brush that I'm using. My daughter's trying to open the door. Hey, kiddo. Hey. I'll be down in a little bit, okay? I'm gonna hang out in here, okay? I'll be out in a little bit. Okay, but I'm gonna be out in a little bit. Okay, we're gonna go to the park here in a little bit. Can you just wait? No. That's the older kid. She's 3. We're gonna go to the park in a little bit. No, let's just wait. No. Who's there? Flamingo. Huh? Flamingo. A flamingo? Flamingo who? Flamingo and I like flamingo. Okay. Yeah, she told a flamingo knock-knock joke. It didn't really have a punchline. She just wanted to say flamingo. Now she's singing row, row, row your boat. Okay, so anyways, so I'm using synthetic brush. This is a Omega SYNTEX. I got this for $6 on Amazon. I've got a blue brush very similar to it. But again, this isn't going to stain because it's completely synthetic. Kind of a different kind of brush. It's an older type of synthetic, so it's a little more kind of scritchy. So yeah, super cheap, $6 on Amazon. I'm also trying out a different blade that I've never used before. I bought a really cheap razor online because it came with 20 blades. 5 of those 20 blades are Gillette Rubie blades, and I've never used Rubie blades before. I've used them this particular one a couple of times. This is my second or third use, but I thought I would use it in a Gillette Tech. I've got a ball end gold, I think it's like 1966 Gillette ball end Tech razor. Extremely mild. It's one of my mildest razors, but I'm going to use that Gillette. It's a Gillette blade. Let's use it in a Gillette razor. And then to kind of cap everything off, since it is a very masculine scent, I don't have the matching aftershave. I'm going to use Hub City Soap Company Pages. And this is a leathery scent, but it is my most masculine aftershave. And I think that will go well with the muskiness of Denarius. So let's switch now to the lathering. And I've already done my pre-shave. I washed my face with a unscented soap. But let's switch now to the lathering. And then once we're done there, we'll come back up. So I've already got it smeared down in my bowl here, and I always put in a splash of water to kind of soften up the soap just a little bit. And look at how dark it has made that water. I mean, it looks like chocolate milk down in there. So yeah, I totally see why they say to use a synthetic brush, because it could stain a natural hair brush, because this stuff is very dark. And of course, by adding that little bit of water, that kind of opens the scent up a little bit. It's already kind of filled my my bathroom with that kind of mossy and musky scent. And I'm still trying to figure out, there we go. I try not to cast a shadow. I normally, see, I'm trying not to bump the tripod either. This is all new to me with the new house. I had such a great setup at the old house for shooting videos. And then now at the new place, it's a struggle, but I'm getting there. So this stuff performs incredible. Like I said, this stuff, of course, tallow based, but it is gonna whip up an amazing, amazing lather. It's gonna need more water. I do, like I've said before, I like a really sticky lather. But that's even a little sticky for me. So just another little splash of water. And even after it's completely foamed up, it's still gonna have a little bit of a brown tint to it. So Wholly Kaw. Loving their soaps so far. Oh, my tripod just shifted. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, I see. It was on my rug. Oh, I'll finally dial it in like 2 or 3 more videos. I feel like I'll really hit my stride. Still need to try a few more samples just to really find the one I like from Wholly Kaw. But this, I'm sold on performance. I like it. Let's go with that. So you can see that performance is amazing. Again, can't complain at all about how this soap makes just such a nice, thick, creamy lather. I'm loving this stuff. Just to see it in the bowl there is great. I mean, so many of these artisan soaps. My last video was on my top 5 artisan soaps. You just can't beat it. They do such a good job. I read recently somebody was talking about why are there so many ingredients in shave soap? Well, it's so that they perform as well as they do. It's a craft. It truly is a craft or a science to get it all to work out the way it does. So, yeah. So the days have been really hot, but the nights and the mornings are very pleasant. In fact, this morning, I was out on the porch drinking some coffee, reading a book, and I had a visitor. Can you see that turkey? Let me zoom in a bit and you can see the turkey. Had a wild turkey right there in my yard. And then across the street, he just kind of walked around. I'm also a big fan of wild turkey bourbon. Gotta get the 101 though, don't get the 80 proof, get the 101. Good stuff. And then the night before, last night, my wife and I were sitting out there having a beer after the kids were in bed, and we saw an owl, like perched on a street street sign across the street. I tried to get a photo of it. I busted out my camera, my tripod, tried to do a long exposure photo, but he never came back. By the time I ran and got my camera, he did not come back to the street sign. So I missed that. Maybe another night. Maybe I'll get out there again tonight and see if he's back. But that's twice in like, I don't know, 16 hours, 12 hours even, something like that. Had an owl and a turkey. We get quite a few bald eagles here in western Wisconsin as well. So that's cool to see them. I mentioned that this is a very mild razor. I've only got 1 day of growth, so it's not. What I found though, if I've got multiple days growth, I like to either use an adjustable or 2 razors and do mild at first and then ramp it up to more aggressive. And I think some people do the opposite of that. Some folks will go aggressive first pass and then less aggressive the next pass. It's all just whatever your preference is. But if I were, doing this shave just regular, if I had like 3 days growth, I'd use this razor and then I'd switch to something way more aggressive. Very strong scented, this soap. Like, people do the scale of 1 to 10. It's like an 8 or a 9. It's way up there. Masculine tobacco, kind of oak moss. This is my second time using Wholly Kaw. Todd from Take Care Man. I swear that dude sent me like 1 million samples. Thank you so much. He sent me a sample of King of Oud. Am I saying that right? Isn't it biblical or something? King of Oud. Oud. It's the scent. O-U-D. King of O-U-D. And it also has a pretty strong, masculine, musky almost scent. I don't know if that was the tallow or the vegan base that he sent. Just add a splash of water as we prep for the second pass. This, I honestly would say this isn't like my favorite choice for a summer scent. This is more what I would classify as like a winter scent, even though it's warm outside while I use this, because it's so rich and so deep. It's not fresh, really. It's not springy. It's not citrusy. It's good, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's cool in the house. It's 72 degrees in the house. My wife and I, we go back and forth. I'm a large guy. I tend to self-insulate like a walrus. My wife is very skinny and lean and small and petite. And she's always like, I'm cold, in the winter. And I walk over to the thermostat and I point and I go, it's the same temperature in this house year round, within 2 degrees. 70 maybe in the winter, 72, 73 in the summer. She's always like, it's so cold. If I lost some weight, I'd probably feel the same. And then in the summer, I'm super hot. She's under a cover, and I'm like, I just sleep on top of the covers, nothing. I wear clothes. I don't sleep naked. I'm always worried the house is going to catch on fire. And I'd have to run outside naked. Or a burglar or something, or the cops are going to raid my house. Always wear clothes to bed. You don't have to wear clothes right before bed, know what I'm saying? Ooh, this morning, I've had a productive morning. I got up at like 5:30 because the kid was crying. I read my book on the porch, had some coffee, had a little moment with nature. Then, let me start over a little bit. My wife and I went to Oregon for our honeymoon years ago. And while we were on the Oregon coast, we had Eggs Benedict made with crab cakes. Oh, so good. Anyways, I made that today. We've been married now almost 5 years. And I've always said, I'm going to make that. It was a pain to make the crab cakes, to make the poached eggs, to make the hollandaise sauce. Did it all, but oh my God, was it good. Made it from scratch. I even caught the crabs myself. Just kidding. That could be bad. That could take a turn. Ugh. He caught the crabs. I'm kind of loopy, I guess, since being up since 5:30. I'm gonna have to try this blade in other razors. So far, I've only used it in this razor. It's good. It seems to perform really well. Gillette Rubie. I'm looking back at this phone and I don't know what to think of this new phone. I can't seem to figure out how to turn off the audio exposure. Am I right? Isn't it kind of going light to dark? I think it is. I'll mess with it more. Yeah, I had to get a new phone though. My other phone was like 4.5 years old and it was just wasn't cutting it. Okay, just 2 passes. Let's wash this off. And then we'll put on aftershave. And then we're gonna go to the park and sizzle. I keep saying it's hot. It's like 90 degrees here, which in Wisconsin, that's hot. Down south, that was nothing. I've lived in Wisconsin now this is my 7th summer, and we haven't hit 100 degrees. The last time that I even felt 100-degree temperature was when I lived in Arkansas. It's warm here, but not like sweltering heat. Okay, All right. Finish it off. I'm going to dry my face. Hold on. Okay. Finish it off with Pages by Hub City Soap Company. Give it a good little shake. Very masculine smelling soap and aftershave. Leather and musk. I feel like John Wayne or something. Old Marilyn, that was his real name. Marilyn Morrison. And he only had one lung. Okay. That'll do it for me. Thanks everybody. I hope everyone has an excellent Father's Day. And we'll see you again in the Whisker Assassins Shaved In very soon. Thanks.